Hey, everybody, welcome into Day by Day USC reaction here. I'm James with Andrew and Alex, and we're going to be reacting to and breaking down Nebraska's 21-17 loss tonight. Before we do that, you can find the show on characterchronicles.com, YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Give us a like and subscribe to the show. Helps more people find us. We appreciate you tuning in. All right, guys. Tough one here tonight. I feel like it was there for the taking. It was not the shootout I think we were expecting offensively. It was honestly kind of a weird, ugly game. When are Big Ten games not weird? But I'm curious how you're, what your thought. I don't think this is at least for me, as I kind of look at fan reaction, I don't think it's, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. We're terrible. Fire everybody. But I do think there were some things within the game that could have been a little different, coaching wise, obviously, that would have helped us out a little bit different. But curious what you guys think in terms of your initial response here. A game just ended about 10 minutes ago. So,
I mean, obviously it's tough, right? I think what caps it off, I think the overwhelming theme is we've seen this before, right? This feels very similar. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. But what makes it feel that way is your last fourth down play.
Yeah.
That just
exactly. Yeah.
You throw in a true freshman quarterback, middle of the game, cold because Dylan goes down. Then you lose Pritchett, and you're on your fourth and fifth tackle.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Offensively, I think losing Dylan, it hurts a lot. They don't have enough installed for TJ in terms of utilizing all of his talents. But until the Dylan injury, I loved every part of that game plan on both sides of the ball. On both sides of the ball.
See, I mean, I'm going to say this right now at 2 minutes in. I put this tweet out there, and I'm going to stand by it. And I said, for those of you who wanted, who've been calling for TJ over Dylan all year, you got what you wanted. There's a reason second string guys are second string guys, and specifically quarterbacks. Now, I want to be really clear, and I'll probably cut this clip so people can see it on Twitter. That's not a knock against TJ. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. This is not putting a kid down. But in big time college football, and really in the NFL too, you see in the NFL, there's a reason second string guys are second string. And here you got a guy who's a true freshman. He's been here since January. And to your point, Alex, he just doesn't have enough installed. And so if what he excels at is maybe some RPO or some zone read, we have linemen who haven't been practicing that. First string lineman in the game, and then your fifth offensive tackle. You could tell things were just not in sync. You could tell he was a little rattled. He fumbled his first carry, and then he dropped a snap. You could tell it just they weren't going to move the ball. That is not a knock against him. I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback. But to sit back and say, oh, TJ over Dylan, it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
It's nonsense for us now that we've seen it against a formidable opponent to think that TJ can do what Dylan does.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want, my thought is not about TJ playing half the game. I think he's a good player, but coaches call what they know their guys can run.
Mm-hmm.
And he completed 5 passes for 6 yards. There's a reason for that. And it's not talent. It's an experience issue. It's a processing issue. It's just time and development. He just hasn't had that shot. And so when Dylan went down, I think I texted you guys if USC scores, like it's over because we're not going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So if Dylan hadn't gone down, you think we would have won the game?
I do, 100%.
Yeah.
I loved our game plan. I think you had enough passing threat with Emmett's running. Emmett was running like a madman tonight.
Yeah.
He was once again our MVP. But man, when you don't have the short, quick game that Dylan can execute and like it's just there wasn't you could tee off on Emmett, and Emmett still got yards after the fact after Dylan went out.
And Dylan's proven a little bit of that clutch in him.
Yeah.
So even if everything is the same, we're down to needing that final drive. We've shown that in two, 3 games that we can rally, and Dylan can close the deal. So
100%.
That's where it's I guess as fans, it's easy to say, it's easy to kind of feel sorry for ourselves and say, oh, we would have won had we not had our quarterback, or had we had our quarterback. But I think we still have to look at other, the coaches are still going to look at other areas. You can't give up 200 yards rushing, even though it was a one-sided, offensive production from them. But there were still some key pickups that they had that you can't allow.
I gotta jump in here real quick, guys. Sorry. This has been all over my feed, and so I just hopped in to look at this. There is a growing belief that, well, I'll ask you guys, did Dana get away from the run in the second half?
There were just situational things that where there was a pass or two. I think TJ threw, a couple where it's still it's coming off of a long run. Okay. And you're like, why not just keep going to him? Why not feed? I saw somebody on Twitter, I think Sipple or somebody post about that, but
I felt like there were a couple times where on maybe first or second down should have ran the ball, but I didn't feel like every drive or every play, like, oh my gosh, like this is terrible play calling. So
I'm going to say 2 things. One, I agree, but I also disagree. They said it on the broadcast, like if you want to get TJ into a rhythm throwing, you're going to have to throw it on early downs when it's not obvious passing. And I do agree there, but there were definitely times where we had momentum. But if I told you Nebraska actually ran the ball more in the second half, would you believe me?
Yes.
I probably believe you.
Because of the quarterback situation.
Yeah. So in the first half, Nebraska ran the ball 18 times for 89 yards. In the second half, they ran it 22 times for 99 yards.
There you go.
Did not get away from the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just never felt like that. I felt like the offensive game plan was. I realized in our podcast last week or earlier this week, it was incongruent in what I said the game plan would be, and then the score prediction. My thought, my thought on the game plan was exactly what they did. They controlled the ball for 32 minutes. They ran the ball effectively. They weren't in a hurry. And I kind of knew. I think we all knew, like, Nebraska's gonna be able to move the ball on the defense. I think the game changed when the USC player pushed our lineman down, and to be honest, like, Matt Rule lost his cool. Like, he lost it. He didn't stay he didn't stay regulated. He got dysregulated, and he kind of threw a fit, and he ended up having to burn a timeout because he was in the official's ear. Like, they're not going to go back and change that call.
Yeah.
I disagree that there was 2 guys going at it. I think our guy was playing to the echo of the whistle, and then USC turned around and he shoved the guy over, which is a personal foul, unsportsmanlike penalty. So, but Rule lost his cool.
He's coming off losing his quarterback and then his starting left tackle.
Yep.
And then that happens. I'm sure it was probably driven by,
which is totally fine.
Yeah.
My thought would just be, you tell in that moment on your headset, and here I am. I mean, I'm not a football coach, but you tell Dana on the headset, like, okay, hey, listen, you're in charge. You got this. And then you go at the officials then.
Yeah.
While everything else is going on, get your headset off so you're not barking in I don't even know who was playing quarterback at the time. I think Dylan was probably already out, maybe.
Yep.
I can't remember. I have to go back and watch.
Yeah, they had to do the back-to-back timeouts with
That's
TJ
right.
in.
And so, yeah, then, and then just the mismanagement of the play calling. Again, I don't know if who's saying, hey, Matt's like, I want this. Dana's like, okay. Or if he's just like, Dana, what do you want to do? I've said this for weeks. On those 4th and shorts, spread them out and do a handoff to Emmett. That's where Emmett's going to pick up the most yards. But when you get in the I formation or the power I and Heinrich's under center, we all know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think if you spread out though, there's at least a modicum of curiosity, and the defense is not sure. Maybe they'll run a bootleg. Maybe they'll run an inside zone. Maybe they'll throw a little slant. So I just felt like that portion of the game, to me, that lost the game. So that's not on a player.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Rule. He lost the game right there.
I also think prior to the injury, so if we're looking at this game and as a kind of a tale of two halves, prior to the injury, first half, we had some missed opportunities again to really step on their throat and go up. We held on to that.
Yep, we did
that 8-point lead. And I just think this team, we showed it that we need that cushion because we are a comeback team. We are a rallying team. And then if you don't have your rally leader, it's not going to turn out as you need to. So, I mean, that just, to me, if I could sum up the entire game, that's the way it was. I don't feel, like you said, sky's not falling, but it's disappointing. Let's shoot for 2 out of our last 3, go to a decent bowl game. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little down because I'm like, let's just move on. But
yeah, I'm in a weird spot too with this, like with the second half. Like part of me thinks even more so you should have gone tempo in the second half with TJ. Maybe you get some read option opportunities with him. But I also understand when he comes in, you're trying to eat as much clock and limit his exposure to danger. Like, I think it's totally different if TJ comes in on the second drive of the game after an injury versus the third drive of the second half.
Yeah,
like everything is wildly different at that point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
And I love Butler up until that flea flicker, totally taking away their passing game. Just they ran the ball really well. They did. But they weren't scoring points.
Yep. Made them one-dimensional. And
that was the goal.
Yeah.
And in the words of Bo Pelini, it's about points, not yards. They did. I mean, I like the defensive game plan. You could tell that's what they were doing. Nebraska's defensive backs were playing incredibly physical and, I mean, shut down Lemon.
Yeah.
I think he had 1 catch. The defense played well enough. Like, this is, so I know people will harp on the 200 yards rushing, and I said it, Andrew, you mentioned it, but like, this is the number 1 offense in the country, and the defense for the most part shut them down. Like, you give up 21 points at home to USC, you should win the game.
Yeah, especially when you're an offense that averages 34 right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I was happy with the defensive performance. I know that there were a lot of explosive, 10-yard plus runs. I get that. But it did seem that Butler was conceding those. I think he had faith in the defensive backs that he was probably like, hey, if they get down in the red zone, they got to start throwing the ball in tight space, and we're going to win. And they really get into the red zone. I think they got in once. Yeah.
Yeah, you get that bailout pass interference too on Singleton.
It was such a tough call.
You let so many of them go throughout the night too.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be this had nothing to do with the refs, but that, I mean, it was so physical in the first drive, in the first quarter. And you're like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This really has no, I don't think significant bearing on the outcome of the game, but I'm curious your guys' thoughts. Does Emmett just cut a little bit too much at times? Man, I just felt like there were runs where there was grass in front of him if he could have caught the corner. Maybe he just doesn't have the speed to catch the corner. But it's like there's grass, but then he chooses to jump cut inside to try to gain more. And yeah, I just would have liked to see him, especially on a couple that could have picked up first downs. But
yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch. I mean, sometimes, there was a few short yardage situations where I was impressed. Like he really bowled ahead.
Yeah.
And tonight, which he doesn't normally
Go
do that.
Forward.
But there's probably other times. But I don't know. I mean, I've never, I'm not a running back, so there's probably times where I think he does cut a lot. But maybe he sees something.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not gonna.
I don't know.
The Big Ten leading rusher right now, but
I mean he's the leading rusher in the nation. I think at this point. I don't know what
did tonight get him
1,000. Yeah, he's over 1,000.
Yep, tonight he's over 1,000.
Yep.
He's the fourth running back. I think I saw fourth Nebraska running back in the last 30 years to do that in 9 games.
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
I'll look at Eric's tweet here.
You remember the last running back to go over 1,000?
It was probably Abdullah.
Divina Zigbo.
That's right. That's right.
He probably did it on fewer carries too. Man, he had a lot of
and I don't think he was the starting back that year until like game 5 or 6.
Right. Yeah, he was a good player.
I don't know if I have any more thoughts. Just my honest. I mean, I'm just bummed. I think, right before we hit record, Andrew and I were talking about the blackout. I think they should do it yearly. I think it was fun. I think the uniforms look good. Keep them.
Look great on TV.
Everything looked great the balloons were awesome. Just score points, man. Just figure out a way to score more points. That's something that I think, I mean, I like the game plan, but I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend in Big Ten play, and maybe I don't know what Dana's doing offensively or what he wants to do. This is his first year with these guys, but it's just not always, it's just not always as smooth as I'd like. But again, I realize our offensive line's okay; they could be even better, right? I get that part of it, but we got to figure out a way to score more than 17 points in a Big Ten game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last drive of the half, I text this to you guys. Outside of 2-minute drills where that is just its own playbook, that last drive, and I would actually say that first half is Dana's best half as the Husker offensive coordinator, and that last drive was the best drive. He set that up with the previous 2 drives that everybody was upset about with 3rd and long runs. In fact, he hit the Lindenmeyer in the flat, and we were texting, don't like that negative loss.
Yep.
And then they turn around and run basically the same play, but instead of Lindenmeyer running to the flat, he runs a little flag route, and just more of that. I want to see more things that build off of each other.
More of a it's sort of a vertical path. You'd like to see the passing game. You'd like to see Dylan hit more pockets in the middle of the field, like those plays, and when he can kind of get out of the pocket and throw on the run, those seem to work really well, but they just don't seem to be there very often. So,
and he had that. He stood in the pocket when Pritchett got ran over and hit Dane Key on a drag route on the key 3rd down on that same drive.
Yep, he did.
Yeah, man. I thought Dylan looked really good tonight, except for the one play that he got hurt on.
And I think Alex, that was actually the one play where I thought, if you don't throw it on 2nd down, that doesn't happen. Why do you have to throw that there? We were in a part of the field where you're probably not going to take a shot at the end zone, and Emmett just, I think, went for 6 or 7 on 1st down, because I think, was it 2nd and 3?
Hold on. I will let you know. I have everything right here. So
Okay,
that was quarter 3, second drive, right?
Yeah.
Emmett had just ran up the middle for 4.
Okay, so
it's first. It was actually 1st and 10 there.
Okay, that's what I thought. So first down,
at the 33.
So keep giving him the ball, and I do think like I don't think it's a casual thing to say like keep feeding the hot hand, but that first down, 1st and 10, you're on the plus side of the field. Emmett is gashing them for 5.7 yards a carry. Keep giving him the ball and make them stop it, and then mix in a play action pass on maybe a 2nd and 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
2nd and 2 I love 2nd and 2 throws. Like I know that's where people will be freaking out. No. Throw the ball on 2nd and 2 because you're going to run it and you're going to pick it up on 4th down.
I agree with you. I just don't hate that play call because I'm going to give you the sequence leading into it.
Well, you saw the routes you saw the route. You saw the routes on that. There were 2 guys. They dropped 4 into coverage. Both were double covered. Like it just wasn't. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't love that play. I don't hate throwing it there because of the sequence. So you get the Andrew Marshall interception. First down, you run with Emmett for 7. Then you throw a deep pass down the left sideline to the 11, incomplete. Then you get Emmett for a run, a gain of 4. And I actually think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure on that first down, one of the backups was in. I'd have to go back and watch.
Backup tackle?
No, running back. I think Mosey or Nelson came in.
Yeah, Nelson came in, which I think's odd too because Mosey seems like he's touching the ball once a game and it's productive. So
every time.
Yeah, I wonder why we're not lathering him up a little bit more, but
yeah, I mean Mosey's 1 carry was for 4 yards, but it was a tough run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, guys, I think early on in the game, Dylan had a couple of keepers. They were building to something with the Dylan keeper.
Yeah,
and he actually ran those hard.
Yeah, he looked quicker tonight, running the ball.
More decisive, yeah.
All in all, it's just tough. I'm going to be curious to see what the game plan looks like next week. Looks like it's going to be an 8 p.m. kick.
I heard that.
I don't think Dylan plays next week.
He didn't look good. I mean, he just did not look good coming out of the game. It's going to be, I mean, if it's a high ankle sprain or something like that, like that's not a
not a quick turnaround.
That's not a quick turnaround.
Now, I'll tell you guys this. You guys probably don't want to hear this because it involves my previous content creation career.
You can talk about Creighton. That's okay.
But when Stephen Ashworth blew out his ankle against Nebraska last year, I thought he was going to be out for weeks, and he ended up playing the following weekend. So,
yeah, I mean, and Dylan,
some guys heal quick.
We'll see. I think Nebraska's going to need him.
Yeah, and they seem like they let him have a lot of autonomy. So if he's saying he's good, which he probably will because he's a gamer like that, but don't know.
Just a bummer. They had it for the taking. I think they covered. Was it 4.5 at kickoff?
Yeah, it dropped to 4.5. They did cover.
Yeah.
Hey, two ranked losses by 3 and 4 points. If we're playing that whole game from the Frost era, it's not
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to win the next 2. You have to win the next 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You do. UCLA's kind of come back down to earth. I think Penn State is just an average football team. They're not good.
Yeah, I thought that game was going to be interesting at one point today too.
Got a hand quick.
It did early.
Penn State. So
we'll see. That one's gettable for us. There's a lot of teams that that a lot of movement kind of deep in the top 25 today. A lot of teams lost, but we did too. So,
man, and it was there.
Yep.
It was there. I'll have to watch it again. It was just a weird game, right? Like whenever your backup quarterback comes in, when the game is in doubt, you just don't have a great feeling about it. And it's not just the backup quarterback; it's the fact that he's a true freshman.
Yeah, I think if he has
like,
a year under his belt, it looks way different.
Different story, right? Much different story.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not. It wasn't meant to be. So all right.
Rule quote was quoted after the game saying Dylan wanted to return, but he could not run. Trainers advised against it, but did not rule him out. Rule made the call to keep Raiola on the sideline in the interest of long-term health.
Well, yeah, you don't want to ruin his life.
Yeah. On to the next one. The season's not over.
Right.
Nope. Got to beat UCLA.
Yeah.
And then Matt, if you're listening, I'm still available for time clock management assistant role on your staff. I'm pretty cheap. You don't have to pay me much. I'll let you know when you need to call timeouts and when you need to let things go. So
didn't hurt us in the end, but
you could argue that it did.
The decision maybe to not.
Well, then you go. I mean, go for
it.
it. Don't kick a field goal. Like that's a long field goal. Cunanan doesn't have a big leg. He's accurate, but go for it. I mean, again, Emmett's running for 5.5 yards a carry. Like to me, that is just a no-brainer. Like again, line up and whatever you're not the. So that's the thing. You run your best play on 4th and 1, right? And that push play, they weren't going to run that, but that's not our best play. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
You burned that second time out. You got to run something there. You have to run something.
100%.
But you know what? To Andrew's point, if you make that field goal, it could be a totally different game.
Yeah,
like
up 11.
You got to make sure everything's right in that situation. I get it. But man, after the timeout, I would have liked to have seen him gone for it. But I'm a go for it guy. I wanted to go for it a couple of times when they punted.
Yeah. And that's why it was a little curious because Rule's typically a go for it guy in that situation. But
yeah.
Agree. All right. Well, we'll turn the page to UCLA. We'll call it quits there because I'm exhausted.
Yeah. We could be Colorado. We could be getting blown out every week, or
I don't feel bad for them.
I don't either.
And I hope all these schools that are firing coaches go into the hole like we have, and they never come out.
We will come out.
We will come out. We will come out. All right. We're going to call it quits. Hang in there, everybody. It's not the end of the world. We'll get them next time. Go Big Red. Take care.
Big Red.